In the previous session, we have seen the topic of classless addressing from the unit network layer. Now in this session, we are going to continue and complete the unit network layer. In this unit, today's topic are network layer protocols, and we will see the roles of each network layer protocols. So there are basically some network layer protocols which are used at the network layer for data transmission, and based on that we are assigning the duties or roles to that particular protocols for data transmission. So let us see what are the different network layer protocols and what is the difference between them and what are the roles of them. So first of all, let us see different network layer protocols. So as you can see in this diagram, some basic network layer protocols are indicated. Among these, the basic and most important protocol is IP, which stands for Internet Protocol. We have seen the classes of IP addresses in class pool addressing, and we have seen the subnet mask for each and every classes in the previous sessions. So that is the role of Internet addressing or using Internet Protocol. The next four protocols are the first one, IGMP. Here IGMP stands for Internet Group Management Protocol. The next is ICMP, where ICMP stands for Internet Control Message Protocol. These two protocols are related to Internet Control Management and Internet Group Management. We will see Internet Control Message Protocol ICMP and IGMP Internet Group Management Protocol in detail. The next two protocols are ARP and RARP, where ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol and RARP stands for Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. ARP and RARP are reverse to each other because of their roles. What are their duties and what are the roles of them, that we will see in detail. So first of all, let us start with ARP and RARP. So ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol and RARP stands for Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. Let us see the difference between these two. Now, we know that every device in the network has basically two addresses, two types of addresses. The first one is physical address, which we can call it as MAC address, and the second one is logical address, that means we can say IP address. Now, if we want to know the physical address from the logical address, we will use ARP. As you can see in the diagram, Address Resolution Protocol is used to obtain physical address, that means MAC address of a particular device in the network from the logical address. That means if the IP address is known for the particular device, we can find out the physical address for that device using the ARP protocol. And exactly opposite to that is RARP, that means Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. Whenever we know the physical address and we want to find the logical address, we will use RARP. So this way these two protocols are reversed to each other, and these protocols are used to find the logical or MAC address for the particular device in the particular network. Now let's see how they do this. So first of all, let us understand ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. Now Now as you can see in this diagram, the figure A indicates the ARP request packet or else ARP request process. Now whenever any device in a particular network wants to know the physical address of a particular device, it will send the packet, that is ARP request packet, onto that network. This packet is of broadcasting type. That means as you can see, system A wants to know the physical address of system B. Now the IP address of system B is known to system A. So in the ARP request packet, it will have the IP address of that destination, or as you can say IP address of system B. It will broadcast this ARP request packet to the network. That means it will send this request packet to all the nodes connected in the network. Whenever any device gets this packet, it will match that IP address to that request packet. If it does not match with it, it will drop the packet. That means as you can see, the request packet goes to all the devices. The other three devices which has not the same IP address to that of system B, it will drop this packet, discard this, and at the system B, as the IP address matches, after getting the ARP request packet, it will attach its physical address to that packet and it will give the reply to this. So in figure B, the ARP reply or response is indicated. Now here it is to be remembered that the request is of broadcast type and the reply or response is of unicast type. That means the MAC address of the system B is attached to the response packet and it is sent directly to system A only. It is not broadcasted to any of the devices on the particular network. That means this physical address is given to system A according to its IP address. So this is how the system A can get the physical address or MAC address of the system B. So here address resolution protocol request and response process is indicated, where request is of broadcasting type and response is of unicast type. Now let us see the format of an ARP packet. So here the format of ARP packet is indicated. This is of 32 bits, where first 16 bits is of hardware type. That means which type of hardware is used for the ARP packet. Another 16 bits is of protocol type. That means which protocol is used for ARP or RARP. Then after that 8 bits long is hardware length, which indicates a particular device physical length. After that another 8 bits are of protocol length. Then the next 16 bits, as you can see, is the field of operation request and the reply. This field has the operation request process 1 and the second process reply, that is response. This is of 16 bits. Then the next 32-bit wide standard hardware address is that is SHA. SHA means standard hardware address, that is the physical address of the sender who wants to know the physical address of the destination. In our case, it was sender A. Then the next is standard protocol address, which is SPA. It is the protocol or IP address for the sender. Then the next is target hardware address, that is THA. That means of the system B or destination device MAC address. And the next is target protocol address, that is TPA, which means that this is the IP address of the destination or system B from which the MAC address is to be known. So this is the 32-bit structure of ARP packet, format of ARP packet, which is to be sent over the network. Now let us see the encapsulation of ARP packet. That means how the ARP request or reply packet is encapsulated in the entire frame. So in this, the first one is preamble or signal frame delimiter SFD, which is of 8 bytes. The second field is of destination address, that means of which the MAC or physical address is to be found out. which is of 6 bytes. Then the next is source address, which is again of 6 bytes. Then the next field is of 2 bytes, which is a type field, where the type of request packet is indicated. That means which type of data is to be there. Then the next comes the data field. In this data field, the encapsulation of ARP request or request packet is done. And the last field is of CRC, that is for checksum, which is cyclic redundancy check. This is for error detection and which is of 4 bytes. So this is the frame structure where encapsulation of ARP packet is indicated. Now, next is RARP, that means Reverse Address Resolution Protocol, which is opposite to that of ARP. That means whenever we want to know the IP address from the MAC address, we will use RARP. So here a network administrator creates a table in a local area network's gateway router that maps the physical machine, that means for MAC, which is media access control addresses, to corresponding internet protocol address. So when a new machine is set up, its RARP client program requests from the RARP server on the router, which is to be sent its IP addresses, assuming that an entry has been set up in the router table where the data is maintained, and the RARP server will return the IP address to the machine, which can store for its future use. So this is how we can find the MAC address from the IP address and IP address from the MAC address using the protocols ARP and RARP. Now, let us see the next one, IGMP, that is Internet Group Management Protocol. So IGMP is a communication protocol used by hosts and adjacent routers for multicasting communication with IP networks, and it uses the resources effectively to transmit a message or data packets. Now IGMP works on the devices that are capable of handling multicast groups and dynamic multicasting. This device allows the host to join or leave the membership in the multicast group. Next is ICMP, that is Internet Control Management Protocol. So since the IP does not have the inbuilt mechanism for sending error and control messages, it depends on ICMP to provide an error control. So for error controlling in a particular network, ICMP is used. It is used for reporting errors and management of queries. It is a supporting protocol and it is used by network devices like routers for sending the error messages and operations informations. For example, the requested service is not available or that a host or a router could not be reached. So whenever any error or worst case scenarios happens, Internet Control Message Protocol are used to detect or identify the errors in the network. So these are the basic protocols at network layer. We have seen ARP, RARP roles and ICMP and IGMP protocol rules. So here the unit network layer ends. In the next session, we are going to start the unit transport layer, and we will see two main protocols at transport layer, which are TCP and UDP. These are the references. Thank you. Thank you once again.